Hello, I'm Shadow Dragumi Hai, the Executive Director of the International Independent Producers Guild, and I'm the Program Director for the Virtual Theatrical Program. I want to take a few minutes to tell you what the Virtual Theatrical Program is and why I'm asking you for your support. The Virtual Theatrical Program is an initiative of the International Independent Producers Guild in cooperation with Taylor Living Charities. TLC is a registered 501c3 organization working to support performing and media arts. The Virtual Theatrical Program is intended to address specific and serious challenges to the arts which have become acute in the last decade. Live theater, dance, opera, drama, musical presentations, poetic recitals, stage plays, staged readings, ballet, hybrid and cross-format and cross-genre presentations, all of these fall generally into the category of live theater. We live in a time of constant technological and social change, changes which affect the way we relate to each other, affect our access to accurate news and information, which impact our culture and, of course, our viewpoint. Some of these changes make our lives better. Some of them bring new challenges. In the United States, but across at least the Western world, the ability to think about and to openly express ideas which are important to us as individuals is held vital to our democracy and to our future as a free society. Some of the changes we're experiencing should be able to empower freedom of speech, but in fact it suppresses individual expression to the extent that it's endangering not only our artistic and philosophical heritage, but the very basis of our way of life. The tools of digital technology empower individuals to express themselves to the world. However, the truth is that much of what we think of as open forums for expression are entirely controlled by private corporations and megacorporations whose only aim is to control a captive market, and therefore control of the expression within the communities and platforms they own. Social media platforms such as Meta, Instagram, TikTok, and others are extremely controlled echo chambers used to market products and disseminate approved information. They are in little or no way the democratic public platforms which they have been sold to the public as being. This is a time when technology could allow communities at home and across the globe to share human stories and deeply unifying human experiences that cross cultures, histories, classes, and ethnicities. Yet the mass media, produced by megacorporations, presents a smaller and smaller worldview to us every day. This might appear paradoxical, but in my view, it should be expected. The corporate structure is designed for managerial control. That means, by definition, behavioral control. It is not designed to encourage or enhance free thinking or free expression. It is unrealistic to expect that any large corporation can be successful at articulating broad human experiences or at producing anything approaching art except intermittently and inadvertently. It is unrealistic to expect any large corporation to care about anything other than profit. There are exceptions, of course, but those are exceptions. For millennia across cultures, what can broadly be termed the performing arts and drama, storytelling if you will, has been and remains the most important engine for humans to define who they are and to explore the experiences of others. Here I term it art, but what it really is the direct communication of human experience and human identity from one person or group of people to another. It has always been a source of understanding between different peoples, across cultures and across time itself. It is that central to our shared experience on this planet. This kind of communication has always been a personal process, whether it is a storyteller around a campfire with 4 friends, or a 100-member ballet company dancing to the music of a 40-piece orchestra in a 1,200-seat auditorium, or a one-woman show in a black box theater. This form of communication has always flowed directly from performer to audience. That is where it gets its power. One might think that in this new age, with all the new tools available to us, that theater and live performance would be expanding and thriving. But exactly the opposite is true. Consider that a theater company is normally confined to a small geographical area, a local community or one city. It is confined in geography, and it is confined to a small audience. It has one stage on which to perform at any one time. Therefore, the revenue that a theater company can generate is, by structure and personal nature of theater, very limited. Add to this set of limitations the fact that the costs in producing any kind of theater have soared beyond reason. In the world of cinema, you might think that Hollywood spends megadollars on single movies because they're just not careful with their money, or because they find it useful as a way to keep independent producers out of the market. You would be at least partly right. But in the world of theater, the truth is cost of living, cost of rentals, equipment, production design, union and non-union crew, marketing, licensing for intellectual property, not to mention the costs of qualified talent, have all risen exponentially. At the same time, the ability to generate revenues in step with that rise has not kept up. And still, people are less willing to pay higher prices for their entertainment. The rise of so-called immersive gaming and virtual reality, and the establishment of on-demand streaming have changed audience patterns in how they consume entertainment, art, and media, and what they're willing to pay for it. Enter COVID-19 and months of lockdowns. Movie theaters are now going bankrupt, even given that they don't have to pay for the product that they make money from. For live performing arts, for live theater, this time has been an economic disaster. Theater is on a precipice. It is dying financially and culturally. Today, I know that there is a whole generation behind me, possibly more than that, who have heard of theater but never experienced it. A generation whose exposure to art, culture, and free thought has only been through what it is fed by social media, online gaming, and the narrow messaging of mainstream studios and news organizations. The danger is not only that we're losing a valuable cultural heritage, not just that people might no longer be able to experience live theater. Storytelling, live theater, the dramatic arts, the performing arts are near the heart of individual expression, near the heart of freedom of speech. If we lose theater, with all the variation and different viewpoints it encompasses, we lose exposure to our fellow humans' stories. We lose the ability to consider other human experiences. We lose in large part the ability to form and to reform our own ideas and to express those ideas to the world. We lose much of our ability to reshape our world for ourselves and for our children and for our children's children. We lose much of what it means to be human. It is not beyond the pale to say that we may lose freedom of speech entirely. And if we lose freedom of speech, we lose our ability to affect any positive change in the world at all. Some say, and I would agree, that we would lose our humanity. Theater must be saved. So how does the virtual theatrical program address this? Live streaming of theatrical performances has gone on ever since the beginning of television. Televised performances and digital streaming certainly can give access to audience so long as the costs involved are low. On the other hand, simply placing a camera in front of the stage does nothing to make the material accessible or relevant to a modern audience, nor does it take advantage of any of the many tools converging in digital technology. The virtual theatrical program is developing new and original expressions by capable, talented playwrights, directors, and performers. The material is being created with the converging technology in mind. Our intention is to create accessible, original, and provocative artistic experiences by new artists with unique voices. We are combining production concepts such as immersive theater, interactive live streams, real-time 3D generated environments, cutscenes, and more, not to replace live theater, but to enhance the inherent strengths live theater has. We are creating productions combining all these things, performed live with an immersed audience and live streamed to the globe. By bringing these tools together, we can lower the per-viewer cost of our production while increasing revenues by orders of magnitude. We can help live theater do what it does best, perform live, but give it access to the entire global market, and in an interactive format which modern audiences across the world demand. There is so much more to say about this exciting program, but for the moment I want to remind you that I need your support to bring this program to fruition. We need to be able to pay talent and crew to cover the costs of rental space, soundstage and theater, and of course marketing, so your support is vital. We cannot do it without you. We appreciate small donations as much as large donations. Everything you can do helps us move forward. So please join with me and Taylor Living Charities in the virtual theatrical program. Please give what you can now. All donations of $25 or more in value will receive a tax-deductible receipt from Taylor Living Charities. And now there are several ways to give. If you have access to Zelle, you can deposit directly to the Taylor Living Charities account set up specifically for the virtual theatrical program. If you prefer, you can send a check or money order to the address provided on the website. But don't delay, please do it now. Finally, if you prefer to support through use of your debit or credit card, we have a matching sponsorship arrangement with licensing agency Legio 13 Imprimatur. Legio will match or exceed your donation dollar for dollar by providing the virtual theatrical program with branding, marketing, and other valuable services. To donate by debit or credit card through Legio 13, follow the link provided on the website for that purpose. The transaction is processed through the secure Stripe system. Taylor Living Charities receives your full donation, and Legio will match that with additional services. The program can also accept certain in-kind donations of things like vehicles or real property, so you can trade in assets which are not generating an income and receive a tax donation. To arrange things like this, please contact myself or Taylor Living Charities through the contact form on the website. If you want to be involved with the virtual theatrical program yourself, please reach out to us. We want to hear from you. Once again, I am Shadow Dragumihai, the Executive Director of the International Independent Producers Guild and the Program Director for the Virtual Theatrical Program. Thanks for taking time to listen to me, and I hope you'll give us your support.